Hey everyone, welcome back to The Well Way, the podcast all about training for life. I am your host, Sam Beaver, and today we're talking about something that I see all the time in the fitness world, the Monday restart. You know the routine. You do great Monday through Friday, then fall off over the weekend, only to start over on Monday. And let's be honest, we've all done it. But I want to challenge you on this. If you're truly committed to long-term health and fitness, this cycle of starting over each week can seriously slow down your progress. Today, I'm going to break down why you shouldn't be starting over every Monday, how to keep momentum throughout your weekends, and how consistency is really what makes or breaks your results. I'm super excited, so let's dive in. All right, so let's be real. When you're first starting out your fitness journey, the whole Monday start thing can actually work. If you're just getting into fitness, it's not the end of the world if you have a bit of a slip up over the weekend. You're still building the foundation and your body is going to adapt quickly as long as you're consistent overall. For example, if you're eating healthy Monday through Friday and then indulge a little on the weekend, you might not see major setbacks. Your body is still adjusting and you're likely making big changes to your habits. In the early stages, you'll have a little bit more wiggle room and it's easier to get back on track after a slip up. But here's the catch. This only works in the beginning. Here's an actionable tip. If you're just starting your fitness journey, it's important to focus on the basics, movement, consistency, and starting to change your eating habits. But understand this is a temporary phase. Once you hit that 6 month to 1 year mark, you'll have to level up your approach. Now let's talk about after you've been training for about a year. This is where the magic and the challenge really begins. When you've been consistently working out for a year, your body is used to training. Your muscles are stronger, your endurance has improved, and you've built a solid foundation of habits. But if you keep falling off every weekend, it starts to catch up with you. When you fall off for a couple days over the weekend, you're not just missing your workouts. You're setting yourself back. You might think that because you've been working hard all week, a couple of days of indulgence wouldn't hurt. But that's just not the case. This is where I see a lot of people getting stuck. They're working super hard during the week, but then come Saturday and Sunday, they completely undo all of that progress. Whether it's through overeating, not doing proper recovery workouts, or not prioritizing their health. This inconsistency adds up over time. Why it's a problem. So you've worked hard all week to build muscle and endurance, but neglecting recovery and eating well over the weekend hinders the progress you've made. Your mindset shifts. Consistently starting over on Mondays can have a huge mental toll. You begin to feel like you're always stuck in this cycle of failure, which ultimately affects your long-term motivation. Energy levels. Falling off your routine also affects your energy. By Sunday night, you're feeling sluggish and mentally drained, what makes it harder to get back into the swing of things come Monday. So, how do you break the cycle of starting over on Mondays? The key is to carry your momentum throughout the weekend. This doesn't mean being perfect all weekend, but it does mean maintaining a level of commitment and consistency, even if it's a little less intense than during the week. Here's how you can carry that momentum. Plan ahead. Sundays can feel like a day of relaxation, but they're also a great opportunity to prep for the week ahead. Get your meals ready, plan your workouts, and even mentally prepare for the challenges that could come up. Set realistic weekend goals. Rather than trying to be 100% strict on the weekends, set smaller, achievable goals. This could mean making sure you get your workout in on Saturday morning or committing to a walk or yoga session instead of a full-on workout. Accountability. The best way to stay on track is with accountability. Whether it's a workout buddy, a coach, or a fitness community like The Well, having someone to check in with or support you can be the difference between staying on track and falling off. Mindful eating. It's easy to fall into the trap of cheat meals on the weekend, and I recorded a whole podcast just on that topic. But instead of having a cheat day, think of your weekend meals as a continuation of your healthy eating habits. That way you're not overindulging and completely undoing your week's progress. Here's the biggest mindset shift I want you to make. Progress isn't linear. It's not about being perfect every day or every week. Instead, it's about showing up consistently, even if some weeks you're not perfect. You will have days where you don't feel like it. There will be weekends where you go off track, and that's okay. The difference is that over time, the number of off days gets smaller and smaller. The goal is to move forward, not to be perfect. Think about it as a compounding consistency. Every good choice you make whether it's in your workouts or your nutrition, compounds to create massive results over time. The key takeaway here is that you should stop thinking of your fitness as something you need to start over every week. Fitness should be part of your lifestyle, not something you have to reset every weekend. Stop relying on the reset. It's okay if you have an indulgent weekend, but don't use Monday as a reason to restart. Instead, make the shift to see every choice you make every day as part of the bigger picture. This changed the game for me personally. Acknowledge the challenges. Weekends are tough, especially when you're juggling family, social events, and work. And don't let it derail your progress completely. Stay mindful and make sure that one weekend won't turn into months of inconsistency. Remember, the best thing you can do for long-term success is to build small, sustainable habits that last, not a perfect weekend or a perfect Monday restart. It's all about consistency and building a lifestyle that works for you. So, what's the bottom line here? Stop starting over on Mondays. The cycle of falling off every weekend and resetting your goals on Monday is slowing down your progress. The truth is, the consistency you bring through the weekends is going to be what really accelerates your process and your progress in the long run. Instead of focusing on being perfect, focus on being consistent. Plan ahead, set smaller goals, and make sure you're holding yourself accountable. With time, you'll start seeing that not starting over is what gets you the lasting results that you're after. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope it really helps you start carrying your momentum throughout your weekends into Monday. Even if you need guidance or have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You can find all of our information on thewellbg.com. Stay consistent, stay committed, keep training for life, subscribe to the podcast, and I will see you next week on The Well Way.